title of today is the completeness enjoyment of salubrity. Now, what is the word salubrity? Salubrity just means wholesome, complete, healthy, safe. The verse there in Exodus 15:2, you see right below that, it says, "The Lord is my strength and song, and He's become my salvation. He is my God, and I will prepare Him an habitation. My Father's God, and I will exalt Him." It says, "The Lord is my strength and song, and also is become my salvation." I like this verse in Spanish, because in Spanish it says, Jehová el Señor es mi fuerza, mi fortaleza, mi canción, y también es mi salud. The word salvation, which actually literally is translated, is health. The Lord is my health. And the word health is wholesome, completeness. So what you find in the Lord is you find the completeness for everything else. Nothing exists without Him. Nothing exists without His instruction. And that's what I'm trying to get you to see tonight. And to get you to, hopefully you'll have a better, way of, facing the world and being able to bear with it. Because Jesus says, you follow me, my burden is light and my yoke is easy. Because, with following God, it's just all about listening to words. Now, let me ask a question. What's the one thing, because they tell you that when you die, there's nothing you can take out of this world. There's nothing you can take with you. But what's the one thing that when you come into this world, you can get it? I can get it from David, I can get it from Barbara, I can get it from Brian, I can get it from everybody, and I can actually get to take it with me when I die. What's that? Words. Words are the only thing that you get in this world, because your parents, your teacher, your mother, everybody gives it to you, and you get to take it with you. That's the only commodity that you get to take with you. Because, the soul was made to be a carrier of words. And that's the one thing that it does good. And one thing about words, I like what that Jesus, the way he talks about this, there's a passage in there, I'm gonna have you open there right now, because I'm thinking that I should do that right now. In Matthew, Matthew 10:35. I think you can see it. I think I put it there, but I was thinking about this passage right now. Matthew 10:35. Does anybody get it and read it?
"I have come to set a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law."
No, that's not it. Oh, okay, no, it's right there. It's 12. It's 12:35. Yeah, I do have it. Yeah, it's there. It's the sheet that I gave you. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I made a mistake. Okay, it's the sheet that I gave you. It's in the back, and you turn it from Matthew 12:22 to 37. This is an interesting way that Christ is talking here. The red letters, that's what Christ is talking. And I'm sorry, but I like the King James Version, so that's what I usually use. That's how I memorize my Bible, and most of it. I've written over 100 songs from the verses, and they're all been from the King James Version. So, in verse 35, it says, "A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things, and an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things." And then, just that verse it says that a good man has a treasure. And that literally that means a storehouse, a place where you store a lot of things. And also the evil man has a treasure, a storehouse where he stores a lot of things. And what he stores in there is the knowledge and understanding and logic and everything that he receives from words. One uses this for good and one uses this for evil. But the nice thing about words is like, once you have a word, you cannot lose it. If somebody tells you a joke, for example, and if somebody told you a joke that made you laugh, and whenever you think about it, it makes you laugh again. But the moment you gave it away, you had it out of your system, you will not talk about that joke. Because, you made you so happy that you say, I'm going to lose it, I'm not going to remember that experience anymore. But the fact is that once you have something that is made out of words, you can give it away 1,000,000 times and you still have it with you. And all you have done is spread it out a million times. You know. And so that's the power of words, that you have it and you never lose it. You know, if you get practicing on giving it, you may forget it sometimes, but if you keep practicing and rehearsing the item, you never lose it, you have it with you. And that's why the word is a treasure. That's why Jesus says that the wicked has a treasure, has abundance, and also the good man has abundance. You know, and so that's the one thing that I want you to understand it from the view of Christ. But now, it says here, now let's go to the verse that follows there. It says, "But I say unto you, that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned." Now it's amazing that what Jesus says here. This verse really got to my soul. You know, it was one of the essential verses that God used for my conversion, to turn me to Him. Because I began to understand how important the Word is to God. You know, we think of words. You know, when I ask people, what do you think of the words that are in you? What are those? They think that they are just things or something that you use to express yourself, to communicate, to be able to talk to one another. You know, but when you think about what does God think about, what is the Word? God thinks that the Word is His Son. You know, He thinks of it as a person, not as a thing. You know, we think of it as nothing. We think that things are more important than words. You know, but the Word is everything, people. You know, everything in the world right now is run by words. You know, not necessarily in the words of people, because people are not trusted, so they put it in computers, and the computers runs everything for us. The software, the words in the computer, they are running, you know, your water bills. They're running the collection of your mortgages. You know, they're running everything. Because, you know, the word is the one running, the word, we have found that the word can be carried by everything. It can be carried by electricity. It can be carried by wind. You know, you have your phones, you know, and you get to see the word there. I mean, you get to talk to people with words. It travels through the voice of the word. You know, text words, all manner of words travel through all manner of things. So the whole environment was created to transport words. And guess another thing that people have, this is an amazing age for me, because you read more about the power of words than any other century, I think. You know, even your whole flesh, your own flesh here is controlled by words. What do you think the DNA code is? It's a program. It's a word. The DNA tells you what color eyes you're going to have, what color skin you're going to have, and how you're going to stay like that. But it's a word written on acid, you know, but it's a word. So think about it. Your flesh itself is controlled by the word. You know, so the word is powerful. It's controlling our flesh. It's controlling the whole economy that we live in. You know, and people don't think about it. You know, don't think how important that is. They just caught up and bury themselves in things. But everything that's been made from this pulpit here, from this cell phone that I'm holding, I'm using this because I can keep the time. So, you know, so from this cell phone that I'm holding here, and everything here that you see, before it appeared, it was all written down, you know, as some plans, schematics, diagrams, you know, and out of that, you know, we put our labor hands, and this whole building came out, you know. But this whole scenario here, all the schematics for this building and for this whole block, I can carry all that information, you know, in a little one of those flash drives, you know, the little things like that. I can carry all of that here because it weighs a pen. But if you want to carry all of this, it's too much to carry. But in the Word, it doesn't weigh nothing. But you can have it in the Word. And guess what? The whole purpose of education, you know, the whole purpose of education is to get you to become familiar, to become an expert on something. The ultimate goal of education, I see it, is, you know, you go to school, you learn arithmetic, reading and writing, and finally you go to school and high school and college for 5 years, and in the end you become an expert in a certain field. The goal is to make you become like somebody like that made something or works in a certain camp, in a certain field. So it's to make you, you know, imitate a maker or something. You know, that's the goal of education, to get you there. And all the time, they're trying to tell you is that everything that is in the world is found in the Word. Because everything has to be planned and put together by the Word, and then it comes out of the Word. But people keep on falling in love with the things made when the word that made it is more important. You understand that? I mean, it's like, that's like I'm fascinated with knowledge. I spend hours, that's why I love the internet, because I'm gathering so much stuff. You see a picture of me here, back in 2003, I weighed 325 pounds, and now I'm 150. All of this I did it through knowledge, not through liposuction, not through Jenny Craig. I just found the right things to eat and the way, and God led me through all of that. But through the internet and through all the knowledge that I've been able to gather, I've been able to lose the weight, and I'm where I'm at right now. But I attribute all that to words. Listening to different advice from different people and applying them, and now I'm brought up to finally this year, for the first time in my life, I'm what is called an overweight person. For years I was never like that, and I cannot compare where I'm at right now back to teenage years, because I was always big. Those of you that know me know that I told you that my first brother, Ronald Alexis, he died when he was only 2 weeks old, and so because my mom had her at the hospital and they didn't have no hygienic procedure, they put her right next to a patient of malaria, and then the kid pretty soon developed the same color of skin and died. So my mom said, that's it, everybody's going to be born at home. So I was born at home, and everybody else was born at home. But she made sure that I wouldn't die, so she fed me good. So I was plump all the time. So I don't remember a day that I was really, so I cannot go back and say, man, I feel like in the teenage years, the weight that I have right now is like a new beginning to me. Because I never been a normal weight kind of person, So I'm just looking forward to every day now. I enjoy walking and all of that. But that's part of, all of that came out by listening to words. So the secret to everything is in words. And the amazing thing is, what I think is, what I used to tell my students, because I used to teach high school before, I said, if you get enamored with the words and with the order of words, because there's orders to everything, then what happens is they'll pay you to go to school. They give you a scholarship that you don't have to pay back. They give you a grant. They give you all this, because if you show interest in that, so you can learn, if you like Ferraris, you can learn how to make them and design it better. And if you're good at knowing how to do that, they'll pay you to do that. So what is better to have? Because I will tell you, there's two ways that you can have a car. You can have a car outside of you, or you can have a car inside of you. But the car that is inside of you makes you make other cars. And that's the knowledge of the car, see? The knowledge of the car, you put it inside your head, and then it makes you a maker of cars. But the car that is outside of you, all you can do is consume it. But the car that is inside of you, you can recreate it over and over again and keep all the other ones resurrected and alive. So it's better to have the car that can go inside of you. That's why I tell you, you want a TV? Better have a TV that is inside of you. Learn how to make them and design them and make them better. So you will always have TVs. And everybody that comes to you will always have their TV as well. But people are in love with the flat screen, in love with all this stuff. And all you do is consume it, you change the channels and fighting about this channel, and then you just wear it down. We gotta buy another one. More money down the toilet. But it's just so simple. If you want knowledge and you love knowledge, people will love to pay to have. And they will pay for you to go to school. It's so simple a way of thinking, but it's just gone down the drain. And so I just think about this thing, so the completeness, enjoyment of salubrity. I'm sorry I'm dancing all over the place, but let's get back to this. Well, completeness. Now, when you find what completes you, as I say, what completes